John, and in the morning, and
First case before you speak, let's get him in. Mike 6KCX G4WNW with the group. Go ahead. Good morning, Colin.
Very good morning to you, Terry. Mike 6.
Where's that? And I've been trying to put stuff in.
He's in the old pond this end, mate. 2 goldfish died. I think it's the hot weather, mate.
yeah, you covered it over, so you can keep it covered a bit.
Well, it's got...
Ça passait bien aujourd'hui, là. 73 et bonne journée.
Sim, e funciona que é uma maravilha, tanto nos 40 como nos 80, o mesmo dipolo. É preciso encontrar a posição ideal. é preciso arrancar os cabelinhos. Porque I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. Robert just called in. He thought you put it over to him. Let me just see if he has any copy on you. He has signed, but he did just come back in there. Back to you, Robert. VK7VZ, EA7BA. Oh, Roger, Dave. No, I got mixed up. It's Dave, VK5MRD, Dave. I think he's copying you, basically. Go ahead, Dave. VK5MRD, EA7BA.
Well, let's carry on. Delta Mike 5 Tango India is on frequency as well, so please listen for him. And I'm off for breakfast. Good morning, Henry. Have a nice weekend. Papa Delta 1 Hotel Sierra, Delta Lima 5 Radio Bravo Whiskey 73, bedankt. Bye-bye, Henry. 73, good weekend.
Genau, endlich abwarten, sonst wird das nie mehr was hier.
Oh, é uma carga de trabalho, pá. Depois a malta fica velha e não convém. Isso não faz nada. Foxtrot 8 Golf Lima Oscar.
Foxtrot 8 Golf Lima Oscar, Charlie Tango até ao fim de tudo, esse é o Álvaro. Depois também estava a anotar aí um rec aí ao lado. Não fui ver, mas sei que estava por aí, mas agora já estão calados. Não sei se a propagação tirou-se ou se foram embora. Ok, pois isso a gente... ora bem, quando há propagação emite de qualquer maneira intuitiva, mas quando não há propagação...
Nice blanket doing it, and it's holding it down reasonably well. But generally, if that isn't there, generally speaking, the S meter at my end sort of flickers about on half an S point, just about half an S point, and that's with the default preamp in, which is S1. There's 2 preamps, there's 1 and 2. I never used 2, if I want to get a big signal, yes, I can put it in, and it does make at least 10 dBs difference. But I don't bother about that. I think it raises the noise a bit if I put preamp 2 in when I've got a normal, quiet band. But generally speaking, I would say the default, and they do say the default is preamp 1. It works quite well. But if the preamp's come on a quiet band, and if I'm listening to a signal, they will be giving a far better report than I will be giving them. But when I've got the preamp 1 in, it's about equals, so that's how I run it. It's all down to the person, Dave. G4AIR, it's a shame, because generally, if I didn't have this noise, and it does increase the noise right across the band, but if you're in it, it's terrible. But, to have a noise level of half an S point, at worst, it makes all the difference on weak signals. G4AIR, EA7BA.
Okay, John, yeah. Well, from the readability point of view, all I can say is on this rig, it doesn't make any difference to the readability. And on really low signal levels, your preamp's just going to amplify the noise just as much as it amplifies the signal. So from a signal to noise ratio point of view, it doesn't seem to make any difference. As I say, you might just have an extra switch on your volume control, but it's interesting stuff. But if when people are trying to, that's why I like talking to Robert about it, because if everyone was calibrated, knew the calibration at 50 microvolts at S9, then it'd all make more sense. But it obviously changes when you put these preamps in. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I'm just very, very lucky to get this low noise level here. Having said that, there is actually some noise now, band noise, and it's come up. Anyway, I'm off for coffee, John, but lovely to speak to you this morning. I hope you get a bit more sunshine soon, but you've already had plenty. 73's for now, mate, and 73's to Terry if you can still hear me. I'm off for some more coffee. And I'm taking the girl out for lunch. She won't eat much, but it'll get us out of the house. EA7BA, G4AIR.
That's Alan giving you a 5x7.
Yeah, I thought so, Alan. I've heard you all the time. I heard you when you first called in, Alan, and you're now 55 to 6, mate. Very good copy. A very good morning from sunny Foy. G0CRJ, G4AIR. Yeah, I'm copying you 55 to 56, Alan, no problem at all. And I heard you when you very first called in, mate. I've been hearing you all morning. G0CRJ, G4AIR.
E chiamato per utilizzare. Io tenho aqui o sistema.
Have a good day, mate, and gather you've been swimming, you lucky person.
Radio's a QTN, over. OTAN, secure on 10 meters.
Here is Echo Alpha 3 Alpha Romeo. Echo Alpha 3 Alpha Radio. Over.
One question, what is your antenna? What is your antenna?
Relay end at all, which was a bit worrying because I couldn't find out wrong. Everything checked out, everything was switching, seemed to be alright. There was one of the dipole legs, Jeff mentioned it before, maybe could have been a bit longer for strain relief, so I thought, well, I'll do that in it anyhow, so I did that. Anyhow, we get it back up again, and it was intermittent, on and off, or I thought it must be something at the other end, so I thought it was the where it comes out the choke for the top band, a joiner, so I replaced that, and it seemed to be alright, and it started again. It was as though the 12 volts wasn't going there, but it was. It was just going on, off, intermittent, like this. Anyhow, after further investigation, it turned out to be there's a big variable capacitor. It does a 360, this cap, on a motor, and on the end of it, on the end of the rotatable part, there's a bush, a brass bush on the shaft, and there's two sets of fingers, brass fingers, top and bottom, that bring that to your connections on the side of the cap, which are insulated from the main frame, and they were tarnished, Dave. So I cleaned them all up with nail cleaner, nice and bright, and lo and behold, everything's fine. But oh god, I must have had that cap about 50 years, Dave. It's a big brute, about a foot long it is, and half a beast. And that's everything I can put it down to, Dave, but everything's okay, go ahead. So that's another new one. Come on in.
I didn't quite hear who that was, but yeah, found there, Ralph. But the only thing I was going to say was that you relayed at the top, I presume. I think that's right. And all I was going to say was when you laid it down. Yeah, the waterfall is, it's SM5000 monitor on top, Alan, back to you.
I know what because you see, I did have a 2000, and of course that was all the things that you could get with them, innit? If you got the DMU and all them sort of bits and bobs.
Yeah, that's right, Alan. Yeah, if you get the DMU, the 2000, you have to buy the DMU and the card to go inside it. with these limited edition, the card's already in there. And I've been looking at a DMU, and a second-hand one's £500, Alan, back to you.
Really? Blimey, O'Reilly. Cool, they hold the price then, don't you? Yes, when I had a 2000, I looked at it, and it showed this card, and I think I must have looked on somewhere, and it showed you how to put it in and all. I never did do it, because I didn't find the need for it, because at that time I'd never had a waterfall display, mate, have I?
Yeah, I'm looking at one because it actually does everything, Alan. It's got the waterfall, antenna analyzer, rotor control. It's got everything on the DMU, Alan, back to you.
Yeah, well, it's a computer, isn't it, virtually? Yeah, right. Oh, he'll have a complete thing, Simon, if he gets that and all, won't he?
Yeah, you just need to get another rotator and another beam and the relevant cable, and he'll be set up and running, Alan, over.
Well, here, if he gets all that, he wouldn't need to operate the station. We can operate it for him remotely, can't we? There you are, Paul. Put it remote, we'll operate it for you. You can stay in bed, mate.
Yeah, that'd be good, Alice, that'd be good. I've come off all the swapping sites now. I've deleted them all off my account, so I'm not on there no more. Alan, back to you.
Oh, right, yeah, well, fair enough, ain't it? Yeah. Well, you got what you wanted, ain't you? So that's all that matters, really.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So, that's it. My swapping days are over now. Martin Leiter's closed, back to you.
Oh, you booty. What do you think of that, Solomon?
You know what? After about a year and a half, I'm blessed bloody glad to hear it, Alan, over.
Oh, dear. I think, are you listening, Martin? I hope you are, mate. Dear, oh dear. Yeah, well, it's funny, really, Paul, because I've been down the road at this end, looking at the 10, looking at the 101, and I'll keep looking at YouTube, and I think, well, I don't know, it ain't much better than I've already got, mate, over.
Yeah, that's right, Alan. Yeah, the 7300's a nice radio. I've had one myself. The only downside, what I didn't like, is because they had 4 antennas, and it's only got one antenna port, and I got fed up with messing about switching antennas on, switching boxes all the time. Back to you.
Yeah, well, of course, it's a budget to transceiver, really, isn't it? I mean, it's like